My dear friend, pause here for just a moment and give yourself the gift of stillness. Life has been moving so fast around you that you may not have noticed how deeply tired your heart has become. Yet somehow, through all the noise, you arrived at this message for a reason. Not because of fear, not because something mysterious is waiting in the dark, but because your spirit has been quietly searching for comfort, clarity, and hope. Maybe you have been asking for a sign that you are not alone in what you are carrying. Maybe you have been praying silently for peace, strength, or simply a reminder that brighter days still exist ahead of you. Tonight, let this be that reminder. You do not need to be afraid of what tomorrow brings. You do not need to carry every burden by yourself. There is still light surrounding your life, even in moments when you cannot clearly see it. Sometimes the most powerful messages arrive softly, through a feeling, a memory, or a sudden moment of calm that touches the heart before the mind can explain it. So before you continue scrolling, take one deep breath and allow yourself to rest in this truth. You are valued, you are seen, and your journey still holds meaning. Whatever struggles have been following you lately, they do not define your future. Tonight is not about fear or warning. It is about hope, renewal, and remembering that even during uncertain seasons, your heart still carries the strength to move forward, asking for clarity, asking for truth to finally show itself, asking that the masks fall from the faces of those who pretend to love you. That prayer has finally been heard. Tonight, a revelation will move inside your home, a whisper, a presence, a shift in the air. You may feel a sudden silence, a sudden coldness, a sudden warmth, a sudden remembering of something you forgot you knew. Do not be afraid, because I am with you. My sword is drawn. The light of God is standing at your door. Your house is being surrounded by angelic presence, not for fear, but for protection. My beloved, you have been watched by eyes that do not belong in your life. Someone has spoken your name in a room where you were not present. Someone has tried to pull your spirit down. Someone has been secretly hoping that you fail, that you get tired, that you break, that you doubt yourself. But heaven said no more. Tonight the truth will begin to uncover itself. The masks will fall. The shadows will tremble. There will be no more hiding. You may notice a phone call that feels different, a message that suddenly exposes intentions, a person whose tone changes, a silence that speaks louder than words. My child, listen. Do not fight the revelation. Do not fear what comes to light. What is being removed is only what was holding you back. Your spirit has outgrown certain energies, certain attachments, certain people, certain illusions. Heaven is not taking anything away from you. Heaven is returning you to yourself. But the moment this happens, your environment changes, your home shifts, your inner world expands. This is why I asked you to open this message, because if you do not understand what is happening, you may mistake divine protection for loss. You may call blessing a tragedy. You may see a miracle and think it is chaos. My beloved, trust me, this is God rearranging your destiny tonight. Now listen closely. Something will happen around you, and when it does, do not react with emotion. Do not confront anyone. Do not argue. Do not explain yourself. Just observe. Stay still. Stay calm. Stay centered, because the truth will reveal itself without your effort. My child, I will tell you the rest. But you must respond to this message with your presence. Say, I am ready. Archangel Michael. Type it. Speak it softly. Whisper it in your heart. My child, my beloved, since your heart has agreed, I will continue. Listen closely now, because from this moment, the message becomes deeper, sharper, more direct, and more revealing. Your soul called for truth and heaven has answered. My beloved, for a long time you have been walking with faith, even when your steps were trembling. You have been carrying yourself with strength. Even when your heart was tired, you have been giving love. even when others gave you silence, confusion, or wounds, and heaven has witnessed every moment of it. There are things you did not speak aloud, but your soul cried them. There are moments where you smiled, while your spirit quietly broke. There were days you acted strong, while your heart whispered, "I just want someone to understand me." And I, Archangel Michael, heard every one of those whispers. My child, your kindness has been taken for granted. Your love has been underestimated. Your loyalty has been misread as weakness. But heaven does not misread you. God has counted every tear, not to remind you of pain, but to measure the size of your blessing, because blessings are never given to the ones who have had it easy. Blessings come to those who have survived themselves. Now hear me. Tonight, the spiritual world moves. There is a veil between what is seen and unseen, and that veil becomes thin tonight. You may feel a shift in your chest, a sudden quiet in your mind, a vibration in your hands, or a strong sensation that something is standing near you. Do not fear. Do not pull away. Do not ignore it. That is me. That is the angelic presence. That is the revelation beginning. My beloved, someone has been pretending with you. Someone has carried a sweet voice, a gentle face, but a hidden intention. You have felt it. You have sensed the inconsistency. You have questioned your own intuition, because you love deeply, and you do not like to think badly of others. But tonight, their true intention begins to show itself, not through drama, not through confrontation, not through chaos, but through energy. Their eyes will change, their tone will slip, their behavior will show a shadow you never saw before. And in that moment, you will know this was the person heaven was warning you about, my child. Do not ask why me. Instead say thank you God for revealing the hidden, because what is being removed from your path was never part of your destiny. You are stepping into a new season. A new season is slowly unfolding in your life, one where your heart feels appreciated instead of overlooked, where your kindness is returned instead of taken for granted, and where your mind finally finds moments of peace after carrying so much for so long. This is a season where your presence matters, your voice is heard, and your emotions are no longer something you have to hide. The tears you once cried in silence are not meaningless, and the struggles you faced have shaped a stronger, wiser version of you. But before growth fully arrives, some things from the past naturally need to be released. Old pain, unhealthy connections, self-doubt, and the weight of constantly trying to please everyone cannot move forward with you into this next chapter. Tonight is not about fear or revenge, it is about clarity. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is remain calm, observe quietly, and protect your peace instead of reacting to every situation. Not every battle needs your energy. Some people reveal their true intentions over time through their own actions, and you do not have to carry anger in your heart because of it. You are growing beyond the limits that once held you back. Your spirit is becoming stronger, your heart more resilient, and your future brighter than you realize right now. Better opportunities, healthier relationships, emotional healing, and new blessings can only thrive where honesty and peace exist. So trust yourself as you move forward. Let go of what drains you and make room for what genuinely supports your happiness, growth, and purpose. The next chapter of your life deserves a healthier, calmer, and more confident version of you. Now I will reveal what happens after the revelation. But first say softly, or type, I trust the process. I am ready for the truth. My child, my beloved, you have spoken from your spirit, and I will continue. Listen with the deepest part of your heart now, because what comes next explains why everything had to happen the way it did. My beloved, you have wondered many times, why do people change? Why do they become cold? Why do they distance themselves when I needed them most? Why was I the one who stayed even when they walked away? Why did I love them so deeply, only to feel alone? These questions were not signs of weakness. They were signs that your heart was awakening. You were not meant to stay small. You were not meant to stay surrounded by those who only understood a fraction of who you are. You were not meant to remain in spaces where your value had to be explained. You are evolving. Your soul has been growing faster than the people around you. And this growth created a gap where you started to see truth clearer than ever. A gap where your intuition began to speak louder. A gap where your spirit began to sense what your mind could not yet understand. This is why the revelation is happening tonight. Because, my beloved, if this truth is not revealed now, you will continue to carry weight that does not belong to you. You will continue to hold hands that do not lead you forward. You will continue to pour light into a heart that was never ready to receive it. And heaven refuses to let you waste any more of your life. My child, you have asked for healing, but healing does not always feel gentle. Sometimes healing feels like breaking, before it feels like freedom. Sometimes healing looks like someone leaving. Sometimes healing looks like silence. Sometimes healing looks like a chapter closing suddenly. But every ending God allows is an ending that leads to protection. Hear me. Tonight is not about loss. Tonight is about release. Something that was draining you emotionally or spiritually is being lifted away. You are not losing anything important. You are being removed from what was lowering your vibration, your peace, your growth, your destiny. My beloved, after tonight, your energy will change. You will feel lighter. You will breathe easier. You will sleep differently. You will wake up with clarity instead of confusion. This is because your spirit will no longer be carrying someone else's weight. You were carrying emotions that were not yours. You were feeling pain that someone else caused inside themselves. You were healing others at the cost of wounding yourself. Heaven says no more. Now your energy rises. Now your spirit strengthens. Now your power returns to you. You will notice the shift. You will begin to speak less but be understood more. You will begin to care less for approval and more for peace. You will stop chasing connections, and connections will start chasing you. Your silence will have presence. Your presence will have impact. Your impact will have purpose. My child, you are entering a season where your name will carry power, even in rooms you are not in. People will speak of you with awe. People will remember what you brought into their lives. People will feel your absence louder than your presence once felt, because your spirit is rare, and rarity is never recognized immediately. It is recognized after it is gone. But you, my beloved, are not meant to go back. Not this time. Not again. Now I will tell you something sacred after tonight. A blessing is coming toward you, not by accident, not by luck, not by coincidence, by divine alignment. This blessing has been waiting for the right moment, the right spiritual vibration, the right strength within you, and now you are ready. This blessing will touch your home, your heart, your finances, your peace, your future. But blessings cannot enter where illusions live. That is why the illusion must be cleared tonight. Now listen carefully. When the blessing comes, do not question whether you deserve it. Do not shrink yourself. Do not say, maybe this is too good for me. No, my child. You have earned this through pain, through patience, through endurance, through faith, through silent battles. No one knew you were fighting. Heaven saw everything, and heaven is rewarding everything. But before I describe the blessing in detail, before I reveal how your life will shift in the next 7 days, I need you to anchor your spirit into readiness. Say softly or type, I am ready for my blessing. I release what is not mine. I trust what is coming. My child, my beloved, I will continue because your spirit is listening now, not just your mind. There is something important I must tell you. Your life is entering a 7-day transformation beginning after tonight's revelation. These 7 days will not be ordinary. They will not feel like the days you have lived before. Over the next few days, you may start to notice subtle but important shifts in how you feel and how you respond to life. Things that once felt heavy or confusing may begin to sit differently in your mind, as if you are no longer absorbing them in the same way. Even your everyday energy might feel a little lighter in the mornings, not because everything outside you has changed overnight, but because something inside you is slowly settling. Sleep can start to feel more restorative, and you may wake up with a bit more clarity than before, even if your routine stays exactly the same. As the days unfold, you might also notice moments where people reveal more of who they are through small actions, words, or patterns you didn't pay attention to before. Instead of reacting quickly, you may find yourself observing more calmly, choosing not to get pulled into unnecessary tension or explanations. That kind of pause can bring its own clarity, helping you understand situations without draining your energy. By midweek, your inner state may begin to feel more steady, not overly emotional or rushed, but grounded in a way that makes decision-making easier and less overwhelming. Things that once felt personal may start to feel more like information than injury, allowing you to respond with balance rather than pressure. As this continues, you may realize that what is changing is not the world around you, but your relationship with it, and in that shift, there is room for a quieter kind of strength to grow, one that doesn't need attention, just consistency, awareness, and a little time. You will feel yourself returning to your own identity, the version of you before the pain, before the confusion, before being drained. Day 4, something unexpected will come. A message, an offer, a conversation, an opportunity, or a sign so clear it leaves no doubt. It will feel like God placing a hand on your shoulder and saying, "Yes, this is your time now." Day 5. Peace. A peace you have not felt in a long time. Not the peace of escaping problems, but the peace of being aligned with your destiny. Day 6. Your heart will begin to forgive. Not because they deserve forgiveness, but because your soul deserves freedom. Day 7. The blessing arrives. Something shifts in your physical reality. Something obvious, something undeniable, something that marks the beginning of a new chapter. My beloved, this blessing will not feel uncertain. It will not feel confusing. It will not make you question yourself. It will feel like, yes, this was mine the entire time. My child, you were never forgotten. You were simply being prepared. Prepared to receive what you are no longer afraid to lose. Prepared to stand in your value without shrinking. Prepared to love without begging for love in return. Prepared to speak without apologizing for your voice. Prepared to exist without needing permission. But now, I must tell you something deeper. Someone's soul has been thinking of you intensely. Not a stranger, not someone new, someone whose connection with you goes beyond this lifetime. This person has been unable to detach from your memory, because your spirits recognized each other before your minds did. But their presence in your life was never meant to be casual. They are tied to your purpose. However, they could not step forward while old energy was still attached to you. This is another reason why the revelation must happen tonight. When that false connection falls away, the path becomes open for the person who is truly meant for your spirit, not someone who drains you, not someone who confuses you, not someone who makes you question your worth, but someone whose presence feels like home. You will recognize them, not by their words, but by how your soul relaxes in their presence. This is what is being aligned now. But before I describe this person, before I reveal how your hearts connect, I need you to hold your spirit steady. Say softly, or type, "I am ready to be aligned. I am ready to be protected. I am ready to receive." My child, my beloved, you have spoken with readiness, so the message will now go deeper. I am going to reveal who this person is, the one whose life is connected to yours in a way that time cannot erase. Listen carefully. This is not someone who came to your life by accident. This is not someone who appeared just to pass time or to create memories and disappear. This soul has been tied to yours long before this lifetime. Your spirits have crossed paths before. That is why the connection felt different. That is why the conversation felt familiar. That is why the silence between you felt full instead of empty. That is why your heart recognized them, even when your mind tried to question everything. My beloved, this person has tried to move on. They have tried to forget. They have tried to distract themselves with people, work, noise, and routine. But no matter what they do, your presence returns to them like a quiet echo in the back of their spirit. They feel you when they wake. They feel you when they are alone. They feel you when the world becomes quiet. It is not because they are weak. It is because your souls are aligned. But listen closely. They could not come toward you properly before because there was interference in your energy. Someone around you was blocking your heart, clouding your intuition, pulling your spirit down, making your love feel heavy instead of sacred. This is why heaven is removing that interference tonight. Sometimes, clarity does not arrive through conflict, anger, or dramatic endings. Sometimes it comes quietly, through a simple realization that changes the way you see everything. In that moment, your heart no longer feels tied to confusion, and your spirit naturally begins to let go of what no longer feels right for you. There is no need for revenge, no need for emotional battles, and no need to force answers from people who cannot give them. Peace often begins the moment you stop chasing what was never meant to stay. And when your heart opens again, it becomes more intentional, more careful, and more connected to the kind of love that feels genuine and safe. There are people who are drawn to you not because of appearances, but because of the calm strength you carry inside. They notice your resilience, your kindness, your quiet depth, and the parts of you that others may have overlooked. Some people care deeply yet struggle to express it clearly. Fear, insecurity, timing, or emotional uncertainty can cause someone to pull away even when their feelings are real. That does not always mean you were unworthy of love. Sometimes it simply means they were not ready to handle something meaningful. But your journey is not meant to stay stuck in unanswered questions. Life has a way of resetting your perspective, helping you heal, and guiding you toward healthier connections that feel balanced and honest. This season is about emotional growth, self-respect, and learning to protect your peace without closing your heart completely. The love, understanding, and support you seek should never leave you constantly anxious or uncertain. As you move forward, trust that clarity will come naturally, and the relationships meant for your life will bring calmness, honesty, and mutual care instead of confusion, so that when this person comes back into your life, not with confusion, not with half-effort, but with sincerity, you will be able to receive them without fear. But listen to me carefully. They do not return during chaos. They return after the revelation, after your peace returns, after your spirit rises, because the reunion of souls requires clarity. Now, let me tell you what the connection will feel like when they come back. It will not feel rushed. It will not feel forced. It will not feel confusing. It will feel like you can breathe again, like your heart finally found a place to rest, like your soul finally stopped searching, like your future finally makes sense. There will be no games, no pretenses, no guessing, no fear, just truth, just recognition, just remembrance. My beloved, your hearts are being aligned again for a purpose, not just love, not just companionship, but destiny. But before I reveal what role this person plays in your future and how your paths reconnect, you must anchor your soul in faith. Say softly or write, I am ready for aligned love. I am ready for divine timing. I am open to what is meant for me. My child, my beloved, you have opened your heart again. So I will continue. What I tell you now is sacred. The reunion does not happen in noise. It does not happen during confusion. It does not happen when your spirit is tired or wounded. It happens when your soul becomes still, and that stillness begins after tonight. Because once the truth is revealed, once the false attachment is removed, once your energy returns to itself, your spirit sends out a signal, a call, a vibration, a pull, and the one whose soul is tied to yours will feel it instantly, even if you say nothing, even if you post nothing, even if you reach out to no one. This person will feel you in their chest, like a memory that suddenly becomes alive again, like a voice they didn't know they were still listening for, like a presence that has been standing with them all along. They may not understand it at first. They may describe it as an ache, a longing, a sudden sadness, or a sudden warmth, but it is recognition. Their soul is remembering yours. And when this recognition becomes strong enough, they will take a step, not a hesitant one, not a weak one, not a confused one, a real one, a step toward you. It may look like a message, a call, a voice note, a conversation that starts slowly but carries depth, an apology spoken in quiet sincerity, a confession they were too afraid to say before. They will not come to play with your heart. They will not come to test you. They will not come to take from you. They will come to give. Not gifts, not promises, but presence. Their presence, their truth, their effort. The reunion begins softly, not like a storm, not like a sudden burst of emotion, but like a sunrise, gradual, warm, natural, undeniable. You will not need to force anything. You will not need to chase. You will not need to overthink, because destiny does not require effort. It requires recognition, and both of you will recognize. Now, my beloved, I will tell you the sign that the reunion is beginning. You will start to see their name, their initials, their birth month, or something uniquely tied to them, appear repeatedly in your reality, not once, not twice, but consistently on screens, in conversations, in dreams, in passing moments that feel too precise to be random. This is not coincidence. This is alignment. Your soul is telling you, it is time now. My child, when you see this sign, you do not need to rush. You do not need to control anything. Just open your heart quietly and say, I am ready, because the reunion will unfold on its own. The universe has already arranged the timing. Heaven has already prepared the moment. The path is already clear. And when the moment comes, you will not feel fear. You will feel home. But my beloved, there is something more I must reveal. Your connection with this person is not only emotional, it is purposeful. The two of you together carry a light that the world needs. You are meant to lift each other, heal each other, and build something that does not fade. This is not a love of temporary attachment. This is a love of destiny. But before I describe what you build together, before I show you the power of your shared future, your spirit must affirm readiness once more. Say softly or write, I am ready to receive what my soul has been waiting for. I am ready for the life that belongs to me. My child, my beloved, you have spoken with readiness. So I will continue. Now the message shifts into what happens to your life. Once the revelation unfolds and the reunion begins, listen slowly. Let the words enter you. Because what comes next is not just comfort. What you're really describing can be reshaped into something grounded and emotionally healthy. A moment of inner change where you start releasing mental and emotional weight that has been building up over time. Sometimes, when life has felt stressful or draining for a long stretch, your mind begins to create a sense that, quote, something needs to leave so that you can finally feel better. What actually helps in real life isn't an external force or sudden event, but a gradual shift in your thoughts, habits, and boundaries that creates more inner space for calm and clarity. When you begin letting go of constant overthinking, emotional reactions that don't serve you, or connections that leave you unsettled, your internal world naturally feels lighter. That space isn't mystical, it's psychological relief. And from that relief, better sleep, steadier moods, and clearer thinking often follow. Your environment can also start to feel different, not because it physically changes overnight, but because your perception of it does. A quiet room may start to feel peaceful instead of empty. Silence may feel restful instead of uncomfortable. That change is a sign that your nervous system is settling, not that outside forces are acting on you. Real transformation tends to be subtle. It shows up in how you respond rather than what happens around you. You start choosing calmer reactions. You recover faster from stress. You feel less pulled into unnecessary conflict. That's what space opening looks like in practical terms. More emotional breathing room, more stability, and a growing sense that you can handle life without being overwhelmed by it. If anything in your life has been feeling heavy lately, that easing process can begin, but it's built through time, care, and the small choices you make each day. Your dreams will become clearer. You will feel protected, watched over, safe. The spiritual noise that once surrounded you, the tension, the heaviness, the emotional imbalance will dissolve. Your home becomes a sanctuary again. Your heart will open without fear. Your love will not drain you anymore. It will restore you, because the person entering your life is not coming to take from you, but to build with you. They will speak gently. They will listen with their soul. They will show effort instead of promises. They will stay. Your heart will not have to beg to be understood. Your mind will become clear. You will stop overthinking. You will stop fighting your own intuition. The inner confusion that has lived inside you for so long will begin to quiet. You will begin to make decisions without fear. You will move forward confidently. You will trust yourself again, because your spirit will no longer be tangled in someone else's shadows. Your finances will shift, not slowly, not eventually, but noticeably. Your energy has been blocked by emotional weight, and when emotional weight lifts, financial flow begins. This is why your blessing is not just emotional but material. Your work, your opportunities, your creativity, your income, your stability, all of it begins rising, not because of effort, but because your spirit will be aligned again. My beloved, you are stepping into a season where money will feel less difficult, peace will feel more natural, love will feel more safe, life will feel more meaningful. This is the life that has been waiting for you. But now I will reveal something even deeper. The blessing that comes is not small. It is not temporary. It is not something that comes and goes. It is a blessing that changes the direction of your life. It is a blessing that builds foundation, stability, future, legacy. This is why the revelation had to happen tonight. This is why heaven has been speaking urgently. This is why your spirit has been feeling restless, because your old life has reached its ending point and your new life is ready to begin. But hear me, this blessing requires one thing from you, not effort, not perfection, not sacrifice, just allowing. Allow what leaves to leave. Allow what arrives to arrive. Do not chase. Do not resist. Do not cling. Just receive. Now, my beloved, to open yourself fully to what is coming. Speak these words with your heart. I allow what is meant for me to stay. I release what is not aligned with my soul. I am ready to receive my blessing. My child, my beloved, your spirit has agreed, so I will continue. Now I will reveal the exact moment the blessing enters, and the sign heaven will send to confirm that everything has begun. Be present while you read. Do not rush these words, my beloved. The blessing enters the moment your heart no longer tries to hold on to what is leaving, not when everything makes sense, not when you feel fully healed, not when you feel strong. It enters the moment you simply stop clinging, because what is leaving your life now was not aligned with your spirit anymore. And the universe cannot place new light in hands that are closed around old shadows. So tonight, when the truth comes forward, your heart will recognize it. You might not cry. You might not speak. You might not react at all. You may simply feel a quiet understanding, a calm knowing, a soft whisper inside your chest, saying it is time. And in that moment, your spirit lets go. Not angrily, not painfully, but naturally. This is when the blessing begins. Now listen very carefully. The sign that the blessing has entered will come within 48 to 72 hours. It will not be dramatic. It will not be loud. It will not be confusing. It will be clear. Something will happen that makes you stop for a moment, and you will think this could not be a coincidence. It may be a message from someone you were spiritually connected to, a sudden opportunity, a piece of news that opens a new path, money arriving unexpectedly, a dream, so vivid it feels real, or someone speaking words you needed to hear. But whatever it is, you will feel it in your soul, like a door quietly opening, like breath returning to your chest after a long time, and you will know the shift has begun. Now, my child, my beloved, I must tell you the message you will receive in the days ahead. It will come in one of three forms. Soon, you may receive a message, a conversation, or a moment that feels unexpectedly meaningful. It could be someone simply checking in, asking how you have been, or admitting that your presence has been on their mind more than they realized. It may come from a familiar person, or from someone entirely new who brings honesty, calmness, and sincerity into your life. But there is no need to rush to define every feeling or place immediate meaning on every word. Sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is pause, listen carefully, and allow people to reveal themselves naturally through consistency, care, and actions over time. Real connection does not leave you feeling confused, pressured, or emotionally overwhelmed. Often, the right people bring a sense of calmness and steadiness into your life rather than emotional chaos. This season is not only about relationships, it is also about reconnecting with yourself. You are remembering your own strength after everything you have faced. You are someone who has endured disappointment yet still carries kindness. Someone who has been hurt yet still believes in genuine connection. And someone who has faced difficult seasons yet continues moving forward with resilience. That strength deserves to be protected. As clarity enters your life, trust your instincts and honor your own well-being instead of ignoring what your heart already understands. You do not have to return to situations that constantly drain your peace or make you question your worth. Choosing yourself is not selfish. It is necessary for growth and healing. So as you step into this next chapter, remind yourself gently, I choose peace. I choose honesty. I choose growth. I am ready for healthier relationships, better opportunities, and a future that feels aligned with who I truly am. Sometimes the greatest blessing is finally becoming the person who believes they deserve a peaceful and meaningful life. What your new life looks like once the blessing settles into your reality. My child, my beloved, come closer to this message, because what I am about to reveal will touch the deepest corner of your heart. You have felt something shifting around you, haven't you? A strange heaviness in your spirit, as if someone close to you has been hiding a truth. Do not move away from this message. Now, what is written here was guided, whispered, and delivered to you for a reason that will shake your next days. My beloved, before I reveal the face that was pretending to love you, I want you to breathe and listen. Heaven guided you here not by chance, not by luck, but by divine placement. If you are still here reading, then your soul is ready for what others try to hide. Archangel Michael says, stay present, stay awake, because the moment you stop reading, the enemy celebrates. And heaven cannot let that happen today. My child, don't forget to stay connected. If your heart feels this message is speaking to you directly, subscribe to the voice that is guiding your destiny. Do not wander alone when heaven is trying to reach you. Every message that follows is for your protection, your blessing, your awakening. My beloved, a family member who smiled in your face, who pretended to care, who acted like they were supporting you, was never for you. This is the truth Archangel Michael has been trying to whisper to your heart for months. You felt discomfort around them, didn't you? You felt something breaking inside you every time they pretended to love you. But you ignored it because your heart is pure and you always give people more chances than they deserve. My child, hear this with strength. Their real face has been exposed in the spiritual realm first. What they were doing behind your back has reached heaven. Their words, their intentions, their envy, their hidden resentment, everything has been seen. And that is why Archangel Michael is standing beside you today, urging you to not skip, not turn away, not silence the truth any longer. My beloved, someone in your family carried a love that was not love at all. It was jealousy dressed as affection. It was envy, pretending to be support. It was competition hiding behind fake smiles. And heaven says the mask has fallen. The truth is no longer hiding, and you are being prepared to rise above what was meant to break you. My child, listen carefully. What I reveal next will explain why your heart was restless, why your energy felt drained, why some days you felt tired without reason. That person was pulling from you. They were taking from your spirit without you noticing. They admired your strength, but hated that it came naturally to you. They admired your blessings, but couldn't stand that you didn't have to beg for them. They admired your heart, but secretly wished to see you fall. My beloved, this is why heaven stepped in, because something serious was about to unfold, something that would have broken you emotionally if you discovered it without divine preparation. Archangel Michael says, this message is the shield around your heart. Do not move away from this page because the next lines will open your eyes in a way you never expected. My child, that family member was pretending to love you only when others were watching. They wanted people to believe they cared. But behind closed doors, behind their fake sympathy, behind their sweet voice, they carried a bitter heart. They were waiting for you to fail. They were waiting for you to lose something. They were waiting for you to cry so they could finally feel better about themselves. My beloved, you kept wondering why your blessings were delayed, why your spirit felt blocked, why your peace suddenly disappeared for no reason. Today, Archangel Michael reveals the truth. Someone in your own family was speaking negativity into your name, not openly, not loudly, but quietly, in secret, hoping the universe would turn against you. They thought their whispers were hidden, but heaven heard every single one. My child, the reason you are reading this right now is because their real face has finally come out. The truth spilled in the spiritual realm first, and now it is pouring into your physical life. You will start noticing things. The way they act, the way they talk, the way they look at you, everything will reveal what was always hidden. Sometimes you notice a quiet shift in your life before you can explain it in words. A certain distance forms between you and people you once felt closely connected to, and while it may feel confusing at first, it can also be a sign of emotional clarity beginning to unfold. Moments like these often arrive when your inner world is reorganizing itself, guiding you toward healthier boundaries and a deeper understanding of what truly supports your peace. Not every connection is meant to remain the same forever, and some are meant to change shape as you grow into a more grounded version of yourself. Even when it feels unsettling, that sense of emotional separation can carry its own kind of protection, helping you step back from patterns, situations, or dynamics that no longer align with your well-being. With time, what once felt like uncertainty can become understanding, and what felt like loss can turn into space for renewal. Life has a way of gently redirecting you, even through discomfort, toward paths that feel more honest and balanced. You may not always see the full picture in the moment, but reflection often reveals that these transitions were part of a larger process of personal growth. As clarity returns, you begin to recognize your own strength more clearly, and you learn to trust your instincts with greater confidence. What lies ahead is not defined by what is leaving, but by what you are becoming. and in that becoming, there is room for healing, steadiness, and new beginnings that feel more aligned with who you truly are. Do not look away. The person who pretended to love you was protected by your innocence, but now, heaven is stripping away everything that hid their intentions. My beloved, you are not weak for trusting them. You are not foolish for loving them. You are not wrong for giving them your heart. Heaven sees your softness, your loyalty, your compassion, and it is those very things that made you a target for the one who pretended to stand with you. But today your softness becomes strength, because the truth is finally unfolding in your favor. My child, listen closely. The betrayal that was planned against you did not succeed, not because they didn't try, but because heaven refused to let your destiny break. Every trap they set collapsed. Every word they spoke returned back to their own door. Every intention they carried became their own burden, because you were chosen long before they pretended to be your friend. My child, don't stop reading. What I reveal next will prepare your heart for a miracle you are not expecting. My child, my beloved, keep your eyes on these words, because the truth is opening like a door you were afraid to touch. Archangel Michael is still here beside you, guiding every breath you take as you read this. Do not look away. The person who pretended to love you was protected by your innocence. But now, heaven is stripping away everything that hid their intentions. My beloved, you are not weak for trusting them. You are not foolish for loving them. You are not wrong for giving them your heart. Heaven sees your softness, your loyalty, your compassion, and it is those very things that made you a target for the one who pretended to stand with you. But today, your softness becomes strength, because the truth is finally unfolding in your favor. My child, listen closely. The betrayal that was planned against you did not succeed, not because they didn't try, but because heaven refused to let your destiny break. Every trap they set collapsed. Every word they spoke returned back to their own door. Every intention they carried became their own burden, because you were chosen long before they pretended to be your friend. My beloved, ask yourself something. Why did your spirit feel uncomfortable around them even on good days? Why did something inside you always whisper, "Be careful, something is wrong"? Why did your heart suddenly tighten after spending time with them? These were not random feelings. These were divine warnings. My child, Archangel Michael says you were never supposed to trust their performance. The way they smiled wasn't love. The way they hugged you wasn't support. The way they talked sweetly wasn't affection. It was strategy. It was manipulation. It was a mask meant to keep you blind. My beloved, I know this hurts. Not because they fooled you, but because your heart would have never done to them what they secretly wished upon you. You loved them with purity. You cared with sincerity. You stood with them even when you had nothing to gain. And yet they pretended to love you with a heart full of shadows. My child, they thought God wouldn't see. They thought heaven wouldn't notice. They thought your angels were silent, but they were wrong. Archangel Michael has been watching every moment, every whisper, every step, every hidden conversation. My beloved, heaven has been protecting you from dangers you never saw. Every blessing that was delayed for a reason, so that the wrong person wouldn't benefit, so they wouldn't use your growth for their jealousy, so they wouldn't stand beside you pretending to be proud while secretly hoping to see you fall. My child, you need to hear this clearly. The betrayal is no longer growing because heaven has cut its root. The energy that was draining you has been disconnected. The person who was blocking your blessings with their negativity has been spiritually removed from your path. You are entering a cleaner season, a protected season, a blessed season. My beloved, they were never truly for you, even when they acted like they were. When you cried, they didn't pray for you. They enjoyed your weakness. When you struggled, they didn't support you. They felt relieved that you were not ahead of them. When you celebrated, they didn't smile. They secretly questioned why you were chosen and not them. My child, heaven says the time has come for them to be exposed in your life as clearly as the truth has already been exposed in the spiritual realm. Signs will appear. Sudden arguments, strange distance, hidden conversations coming to light. Someone slips something by mistake. Their true face will reveal itself, not because you search for it, but because heaven is tired of seeing you hurt. My beloved, Archangel Michael is lifting the veil from your eyes. When you see the truth, do not crumble, do not break, do not panic. Realize that this is a divine release. Heaven is not taking someone from you. Heaven is removing what was blocking your blessings. My child, when God removes someone, it is always protection, never punishment. You prayed for peace, and peace requires removing those who bring chaos. You prayed for a better season, and a better season requires pruning the branches that stop your growth. You prayed for clarity, and clarity requires truth. Even when the truth stings, my beloved, you were meant to outgrow them. You were meant to rise higher. You were meant to break the spiritual patterns that they wanted to keep you trapped in. Your growth threatened them, not because you did anything wrong, but because your light reminded them of what they refused to become. My child, keep reading. You have reached the part where your destiny begins to separate from their energy. The next words will explain why heaven revealed this now, not earlier, not later, but today, this exact moment. My beloved, the spiritual realm has been shifting rapidly around your name. Your angels have been fighting battles on your behalf. The betrayal that was hidden was about to manifest in a way that would have caused you deep emotional damage. That is why Archangel Michael intervened this strongly today. My child, this message is not just a warning, it is a preparation, it is a cleansing. Your life may be entering a season where you begin seeing people and relationships with much more clarity than before. Not everyone who stands beside you truly supports your growth, and sometimes the hardest realization is understanding that certain connections were draining your peace more than adding to it. But this next chapter is not about fear, revenge, or believing everyone around you has bad intentions. It is about learning to protect your energy, value your worth, and surround yourself with people who are honest, supportive, and sincere. As you grow emotionally and spiritually, unhealthy dynamics naturally begin to lose their place in your life. You may start noticing who genuinely celebrates your success, who listens with care, and who brings calmness instead of confusion. And through that process, some truths may become impossible to ignore. Certain people may no longer feel aligned with the person you are becoming, and that realization can feel emotional at first, but it also creates space for healthier connections to enter your life. Sometimes your discomfort around someone was not weakness or overthinking. Sometimes it was your inner sense recognizing what your heart had not fully accepted yet. The important thing is not to become bitter or guarded against the world. Instead, let this be a season of wisdom, stronger boundaries, and deeper self-respect. You deserve relationships where support is genuine, communication is honest, and love feels peaceful rather than exhausting. As you continue forward, trust yourself more. Pay attention to how people make you feel over time, not just through words, but through actions. Real love, friendship, and connection do not require constant confusion or emotional struggle to prove their value. This moment in your life is not about losing people. It is about finding clarity, releasing unnecessary emotional weight, and making room for healthier, more meaningful experiences ahead. Every line is revealing something heaven waited for the right moment to show you. My beloved, heaven delayed this truth until your heart was strong enough to see it without breaking. The betrayal might have shattered you if you had seen it earlier. You would have blamed yourself. You would have questioned your worth. You would have asked why love is so difficult for you. But now you are rising. Now you are awakening. Now your spiritual vision is sharp. My beloved, something powerful is coming in the next days. and the person who pretended to love you would have tried to ruin it. They would have acted excited for you, but inside they would have prayed that you fail. My child, heaven says no. Their influence is ending. Their access to you is being cut. Their mask is falling, and you will finally understand why your spirit felt so uncomfortable around them. My beloved, what comes next will change the way you see relationships forever. Stay with me, my child. My beloved, Archangel Michael asks you to breathe slowly, because the truth you are about to read next will not only open your eyes, it will free you from years of silent emotional weight you didn't even know you were carrying. Stay with me. Don't look away. Every line is revealing something heaven waited for the right moment to show you. My beloved, heaven delayed this truth until your heart was strong enough to see it without breaking. The betrayal might have shattered you if you had seen it earlier. You would have blamed yourself. You would have questioned your worth. You would have asked why love is so difficult for you. But now you are rising. Now you are awakening. Now your spiritual vision is sharp, my child. That is why the mask of the one pretending to love you is falling today, because today you are finally ready to walk without depending on their fake affection. You are ready to grow without their shadow pulling you back. You are ready to receive blessings they were secretly trying to block. My beloved, the person who acted close to you was not supporting you. They were studying you. They were watching your moves, your growth, your opportunities, your blessings. Not to celebrate you, but to find ways to stay ahead, to keep you small, to control the energy around you. Their love was never love, it was surveillance. My child, feel the weight of this truth. Someone in your family knew your weaknesses, knew your fears, knew your dreams, and instead of protecting your heart, they used your vulnerability as a silent weapon. But heaven did not allow their plans to flourish. Not once, not ever. Every trap they set became their own delay. Every intention they held became their own consequence. My beloved, you must understand this clearly. They didn't just pretend to love you. They pretended to be harmless. But spiritually, they were the reason for many nights you cried without a clear reason. They were the reason opportunities slipped away at the last moment. They were the reason certain relationships failed before they began. Their energy was spreading a quiet poison in your environment. My child, heaven has uprooted that poison. Now your spirit is not under their influence anymore. You are stepping into a season where the truth becomes your shield and clarity becomes your armor. My beloved, ask yourself this. Why did your inner peace disappear whenever you shared your dreams with them? Why did you feel drained after talking to them? Why did your blessings slow down whenever they were too close to your life? Snorts. It is because your spirit recognized what your heart did not want to accept. They were not for you, my child. Archangel Michael says, your dreams were too big for their smallness. Your blessings were too pure for their bitterness. Your destiny was too powerful for their insecurity, and that is why they pretended to love you, while secretly hoping you would fail. My beloved, heaven is cleaning the path for you. Every barrier placed by their jealousy has already been destroyed. You will begin to see your energy rise again. Your confidence will return. Your opportunities will open again. The heaviness you've been feeling will begin to lift like fog breaking in sunlight. My child, they never expected the truth to reach you. They never expected heaven to intervene. They never expected you to survive the emotional traps they created. But you are still here, stronger than ever, reading this message that was delivered by divine timing. My beloved, Archangel Michael is standing guard over your life now more intensely than ever. The spiritual attack that was forming around you has been reversed. The words spoken against you have been silenced. The plans made behind your back have collapsed. My child, listen to this next part carefully. This is the deepest truth of all. The same person pretending to love you was also pretending to be the victim. They wanted people to think you were the one who changed. They wanted others to believe that you distanced yourself without reason. They wanted sympathy that they did not deserve. My beloved, the universe will expose this hypocrisy. The truth will turn itself inside out. One small mistake, one unexpected moment, one slip of the tongue, and their entire act will fall apart. Heaven will not let lies stand where truth is ready to rise. Sometimes when painful experiences happen, it's natural to ask why they had to involve you specifically. Those moments can feel deeply personal, as if life has singled you out, but often they are part of a much broader human experience of learning, growth, and emotional awakening. Difficult relationships can leave strong impressions, especially when trust was once present, and it takes time to understand what those experiences were meant to teach rather than take away from you. In reality, not every connection is meant to remain permanent, and some people enter our lives for a season that reveals both our sensitivity and our strength. What matters most is how you move forward from what hurt you. Healing is rarely immediate. It unfolds quietly, often in ways you only recognize later. As you begin to regain clarity, you also start to see your own boundaries more clearly, and you learn to protect your peace with greater confidence. The focus slowly shifts away from what was lost or misunderstood and moves toward what can be rebuilt within you: stability, self-trust, and emotional balance. Over time, the intensity of the past softens, not because it didn't matter, but because you've grown beyond its hold. You begin to understand that your future isn't defined by how others treated you, but by how you choose to rise after it. And in that process, you rediscover a steadier sense of direction, one that is shaped by self-awareness, calm strength, and the quiet assurance that your life is still unfolding in meaningful ways. My beloved, something powerful is coming your way, something that the person pretending to love you did not want you to receive, but heaven has made sure they cannot block it anymore. My child, stay close to this message. The next part will reveal what blessing was being delayed because of their presence in your life. My child, my beloved, do not move away from this message. Now you are entering the part where heaven begins revealing what was being held back, what was being slowed down, what was being quietly blocked by the person who pretended to love you. Stay with me. Every line now carries a spiritual truth you were meant to hear at this exact moment in time. My child, the next lines are the beginning of your spiritual turnaround. Do not miss a single word. My beloved, the person who pretended to love you is about to feel the weight of their actions, not because you seek revenge, you don't need to, but because divine justice is already moving. When you rise, they will fall. When you heal, their mask will crack. When you step into your blessing, their jealousy will burn. My child, heaven is not cruel, heaven is just, and justice is now unfolding around your name. My beloved, something powerful is coming your way, something that the person pretending to love you did not want you to receive, but heaven has made sure they cannot block it anymore. My child, stay close to this message. The next part will reveal what blessing was being delayed because of their presence in your life. My child, my beloved, do not move away from this message. Now you are entering the part where heaven begins revealing what was being held back, what was being slowed down, what was being quietly blocked by the person who pretended to love you. Stay with me. Every line now carries a spiritual truth you were meant to hear at this exact moment in time. My beloved, your blessings were not denied. They were delayed for protection. Heaven was waiting for the wrong spirit to leave your path before opening the doors that belong to you. If those doors had opened earlier, the person pretending to love you would have sabotaged your future without you realizing they were the cause. My child, listen deeply. You were supposed to receive something months ago, a breakthrough, a shift, a blessing, a connection, an opportunity, a moment of divine change, but the energy around you wasn't clean. Your circle had a snake disguised as a supporter. And heaven does not pour miracles into environments that are poisoned. My beloved, what was meant for you didn't disappear. It simply waited. It waited for this moment when heaven wiped away the fake love, removed the spiritual blockage, and exposed the one who was secretly wishing against you. My child, feel this truth. Nothing you lost was final. Nothing you missed was permanent. What is yours has been circling your life like a miracle waiting for permission to land. And now, with the mask revealed and the betrayal exposed, that miracle is finally approaching you without resistance. My beloved, the blessing you are stepping into next is something that would have ignited jealousy in them, something that would have caused conflict, something that would have made their heart reveal its darkest colors. Heaven was protecting you from the chaos they would have created around your success. My child, Archangel Michael says, your blessing is something large, something life-changing, something you have secretly asked for in moments when no one else was around, something you didn't tell anyone, and yet heaven still heard. My beloved, the reason you had sudden financial pressure, the reason relationships failed unexpectedly, the reason peace came and went, the reason progress slowed down was because someone in your family was spiritually misaligned with your destiny. Their energy was interfering with your elevation. My child, your spirit is too pure to detect evil immediately. That is why heaven intervened. That is why this message found you. That is why Archangel Michael is speaking with such urgency. Your next season cannot include people who wish to see you broken. My beloved, the one pretending to love you wanted access, not connection. They wanted information, not closeness. They wanted to know your plan, so they could privately compare your life with theirs. Every time you shared good news, they acted happy, but their heart tightened with silent envy. My child, you deserve people who celebrate you sincerely, not people who smile only because they don't want others to notice their jealousy. Heaven is removing duplicity from your life. Heaven is clearing space for genuine souls. My beloved, what is coming to you next is so important that heaven needed to expose the fake before it arrives. The blessing was too big to be shared with the wrong person. The miracle was too sacred to be in the presence of someone who secretly resented you. My child, ask yourself, why do you feel lighter recently? Why have you been sensing a shift, like something around you has quietly changed? That is the spiritual separation already unfolding. Heaven has already started cutting energetic ties between you and the person pretending to love you. My beloved, in the next days, you will receive clarity in ways that will shock you. Something unexpected will reveal their true intention. A slip of their tongue, a sudden reaction, a message they send to the wrong person, a truth that someone else accidentally tells you. Their real face is coming out piece by piece. My child, when this happens, do not be afraid. As life begins to reveal certain truths to you, try not to respond with anger, guilt, or harshness toward yourself. Not every disappointment is meant to break you. Sometimes it is meant to guide you toward a healthier and more peaceful path. The moments that challenge your heart can also become the moments that help you grow stronger, wiser, and more aware of what you truly deserve. If you trusted someone who later disappointed you, that does not make you foolish or weak. It simply means you chose to see the good in people and believed in the connection you shared. That kind of openness is not something to be ashamed of. But now, you are learning the importance of balance, caring for others while also protecting your own peace and emotional well-being. The answers you have been searching for may not arrive dramatically, but through small moments of clarity, stronger boundaries, and a deeper understanding of yourself. As you move into this next chapter, you may notice a shift in your energy, your mindset, and the people you allow close to your life. Opportunities connected to your stability, healing, and personal growth may begin opening in ways you did not expect before. Emotional healing takes time, but every step forward matters. The weight you have been carrying emotionally does not need to stay with you forever. What once felt overwhelming can slowly lose its power as you choose peace over chaos and self-respect over unhealthy attachments. Focus on building a life where your heart feels safe, your mind feels calm, and your future feels hopeful again. The people and situations that truly belong in your life will never require you to constantly question your worth. This season is not about fear or loss. It is about freedom, healing, and finally allowing yourself to move toward the life you have been hoping for. Their resentment cannot dim your path. Heaven has officially sealed your spirit from their negativity. My child, hear this with strength. You are stepping into a period where everything that was stuck will begin to move again. Opportunities will reappear, doors will reopen, people who were silent will suddenly reach out, money that was delayed will flow, peace that felt lost will return. My beloved, the blockage wasn't bad luck. It wasn't coincidence, it wasn't timing, it was spiritual interference. But now, heaven has lifted it completely. My child, stay with me, because what I reveal in the next part will tell you exactly why heaven chose to expose this betrayal right now, not earlier, not later, but at this exact turning point in your destiny. My child, Archangel Michael says, a major blessing that was on hold is now being released back into your timeline. Something connected to your stability. Something connected to your spiritual awakening. Something connected to your destiny. Something connected to your emotional healing. My beloved, they cannot block it anymore. Their energy no longer reaches you. Their influence cannot touch you. Their resentment cannot dim your path. Heaven has officially sealed your spirit from their negativity. My child, hear this with strength. You are stepping into a period where everything that was stuck will begin to move again. Opportunities will reappear, doors will reopen, people who were silent will suddenly reach out, money that was delayed will flow, peace that felt lost will return. My beloved, the blockage wasn't bad luck, it wasn't coincidence, it wasn't timing, it was spiritual interference. But now, heaven has lifted it completely. My child, stay with me, because what I reveal in the next part will tell you exactly why heaven chose to expose this betrayal right now. Not earlier, not later, but at this exact turning point in your destiny. My child, my beloved, what I am about to reveal now is the reason heaven waited until this exact hour, this exact day, this exact moment, to expose the one pretending to love you. Do not rush these words. Let them enter your spirit slowly. This message is not random. It is a breakthrough disguised as truth. My beloved, you are standing at the doorway of a life shift. Something extremely important is about to begin for you. A new path, a new blessing, a new alignment, a new opportunity. And heaven could not let you enter this season with that person still connected to your destiny. My child, the spiritual realm has been preparing you for a transition. You may have felt it recently, waking up with a strange energy, sensing something big coming, feeling a silent pull towards something new. That pull was heaven moving you away from the wrong person. My beloved, the person pretending to love you was tied to your past, not to your future. They belong to a chapter that you have spiritually outgrown. Their energy could not go with you into the next level. Their heart was not capable of celebrating what heaven is about to give you. Their spirit was not aligned with the miracles prepared for you. My child, heaven exposed their truth now because your new season demands protection, clarity, and purity. The blessing approaching you is too valuable to be contaminated by fake intentions. My beloved, imagine this. What if heaven had given you the opportunity you prayed for, while that person was still close to you? What if your breakthrough had come while their jealousy was still active? What if you received your blessing only to realize later that someone you trusted was secretly rooting for your downfall? My child, heaven refused to let that happen. That is why the truth is coming out now, before your blessing arrives. You are being spiritually cleansed so that nothing toxic enters your next chapter. My beloved Archangel Michael says the betrayal was never the real threat. The real danger was their influence over your emotions. Their presence was dimming your inner light. Their jealousy was clouding your intuition. Their hidden intentions were slowing your momentum. My child, the moment heaven separated your path from theirs, the atmosphere around your spirit began to shift. You didn't see it, but your angels did. A blockage was removed. A heavy cloud was lifted. A spiritual knot was untied. Heaven cleared the path without you even knowing you needed clearing. My beloved, this is why you feel different lately. This is why you feel restless, but also hopeful. This is why you feel like something new is coming, even though you can't explain it. Your soul can feel what your mind cannot understand yet. My child, heaven is leading you toward a door that has been closed for years, but is about to swing open with divine force, and the person pretending to love you was not meant to witness that moment. My beloved, ask yourself something honestly. Why did you feel drained after talking to them? Why did your energy shift whenever they walked into the room? Why did your spirit feel uncomfortable when you shared your dreams with them? Because your soul recognized what your heart refused to accept. Sometimes life teaches us a quiet but powerful lesson. The more we try to hold on to the wrong connections, the more exhausted and confused we become. And the moment we begin to loosen our grip, stop chasing clarity from people who cannot offer it, stop forcing warmth where it no longer exists, something inside us starts to settle. It's not dramatic at first, just a small sense of relief, like finally being able to breathe a little easier. In that space, we often begin to see things more clearly. We notice patterns we once ignored, and we understand that not every bond is meant to last forever. Some people enter our lives to teach us something about our boundaries, our expectations, and our emotional strength. When those lessons are learned, distance can naturally follow, not as punishment, but as realignment toward healthier emotional ground. What feels like loss in the beginning often becomes clarity over time. You start to regain your sense of self, your energy feels less scattered, and your focus slowly returns to your own growth. Instead of questioning what went wrong, you begin to ask what is now possible, and that shift changes everything. With time, you may realize that life wasn't taking something away from you, it was gently guiding you back to yourself. And from that place, new opportunities, calmer connections, and a stronger sense of direction begin to form naturally, without force or struggle. They were removed to prepare you. What is coming next required solitude, clarity, and strength, not confusion, doubt, and emotional chaos. My beloved, your heart deserves better than silent envy. Your spirit deserves better than hidden competition. Your future deserves better than people who only love you when you are suffering. My child, you are rising into a chapter where your light will be brighter, your blessings larger, your energy stronger, and your peace deeper. And heaven needed to ensure that no one with a jealous heart would step into that space with you. My beloved, the truth is painful but necessary, because the next part of your journey requires courage, and heaven is preparing you for it. My child, stay with me a little longer, because the next lines will reveal the specific spiritual sign you will see when their true face fully comes out, and when you see it, you will know with absolute certainty that heaven was guiding you the entire time. My child, my beloved, stay close now, because this part reveals what you have been sensing deep inside, but could never put into words. Archangel Michael says, you are about to receive a clear sign. a sign that will confirm without any doubt who the person was that pretended to love you. Do not rush this. Your next lines carry spiritual confirmation. My beloved, your heart deserves better than silent envy. Your spirit deserves better than hidden competition. Your future deserves better than people who only love you when you are suffering. My child, you are rising into a chapter where your light will be brighter, your blessings larger, your energy stronger, and your peace deeper. And heaven needed to ensure that no one with a jealous heart would step into that space with you. My beloved, the truth is painful but necessary, because the next part of your journey requires courage, and heaven is preparing you for it. My child, stay with me a little longer, because the next lines will reveal the specific spiritual sign you will see when their true face fully comes out. And when you see it, you will know with absolute certainty that heaven was guiding you the entire time. My child, my beloved, stay close now, because this part reveals what you have been sensing deep inside, but could never put into words. Archangel Michael says, you are about to receive a clear sign, a sign that will confirm without any doubt who the person was that pretended to love you. Do not rush this. Your next lines carry spiritual confirmation. My beloved, heaven is preparing a moment where their mask will slip, and you will see something you were never meant to overlook again. It will happen naturally, not forced, not dramatic, not planned, but it will be enough to change the way you see them forever. My child, the first sign will come through their tone, something small, something sudden, something slightly harsher than usual. They will say something in a way that shocks you, not because of the words, but because of the emotion behind those words. You will hear jealousy in their voice, even if they try to hide it. My beloved, the second sign will come through their eyes. Eyes never lie. Someone who loves you looks at you with softness, but someone who resents you stares with coldness when they think you're not watching. Pay attention. Their eyes will reveal the truth their mouth has been hiding for years. My child, the third sign will come through their reaction to your good news. When a blessing enters your life, whether big or small, they will not be happy. They will not celebrate. They will hesitate. They will change the topic. They will give dry congratulations. Their smile will not reach their eyes. My beloved, heaven says, this is not you imagining things. This is spiritual clarity awakening inside you. You will finally see what heaven has been seeing. And once you see it, you can never unsee it again. My child, the fourth sign will come through distance. When heaven removes someone from your life, communication naturally breaks. They stop calling like they used to. They stop checking on you. They start prioritizing others. They begin slipping away. And it's not because you did anything. It's because heaven is pulling them back. My beloved, the fifth sign will be the most powerful. You will feel peace when they are not around. Your spirit will feel lighter. Your heart will feel quieter. As you continue healing and growing, you may begin to notice something unexpected. Your mind feels calmer. Your emotions feel lighter. And certain people no longer occupy your thoughts the way they once did. What once felt impossible to release may slowly begin to feel like peace instead of loss. That shift is often a sign that you are moving into a healthier emotional space and becoming more aligned with the life you truly want for yourself. Not every relationship is meant to stay forever, and sometimes distance brings clarity that emotions once hid from you. When certain truths become clear, there is no need to react with anger, chase explanations, or force difficult conversations that only reopen old wounds. Often, people reveal who they are naturally through their actions, choices, and consistency over time. Your role is not to fight every battle, but to protect your peace and trust your own growth. Healing does not always happen loudly. Sometimes it arrives quietly through acceptance, stronger boundaries, and emotional freedom. As you release unhealthy energy from your life, you also create space for better connections to enter. New friendships, mentors, opportunities, or meaningful relationships may appear when you least expect them, bringing encouragement, honesty, and emotional safety into your world. The right people will not leave you constantly anxious, confused, or emotionally exhausted. Instead, their presence will feel supportive, grounding, and sincere. This next chapter of your life is about surrounding yourself with people who genuinely value your heart, respect your boundaries, and inspire you to become the best version of yourself. Continue trusting your instincts, taking care of your emotional well-being, and allowing yourself to move forward without carrying the weight of the past. The future ahead of you does not need to repeat old pain. It can become a season filled with healthier relationships, clearer understanding, renewed confidence, and the kind of peace your heart has been searching for all along. Their love will not be fake, their support will not be conditional, their presence will not be draining. They will come into your life with sincerity. My child, the person pretending to love you would have tried to block this divine connection out of jealousy. They would have said negative things. They would have discouraged you. They would have tried to plant doubt in your heart. That is why heaven had to expose them before the blessing arrives. My beloved, this is a major shift in your life, not a small change, not a minor adjustment, a complete realignment of your spiritual path. You are entering a destiny that carries strength, respect, abundance, clarity, and divine companionship. My child, heaven removed the wrong one because the right ones are approaching you. People who will support you, lift you, pray for you, celebrate you, and protect your energy the way you deserve. People who are aligned with your soul, not your suffering. My beloved Archangel Michael says, you will not walk this next chapter alone. Your angels are preparing relationships that will help you grow, not shrink, connections that will heal you, not drain you, energies that will lift you, not betray you. My child, you have been holding too much pain inside your heart for too long. You have carried disappointment silently. You have forgiven people who never deserved forgiveness. You have smiled even when your wounds were still open. You have loved deeply, even when love was not returned. My beloved, heaven saw all of it, and heaven decided no more. Your heart deserves peace. Your spirit deserves love. Your future deserves protection, and the universe is rearranging everything around your name to give you exactly that. My child, do not fear what is being removed from your life. Fear what heaven saves you from that you never even saw. The person pretending to love you was becoming a danger to your emotional well-being. Heaven removed them before their hidden bitterness turned into an attack against your destiny. My beloved, the next part of this message will explain something extremely important, what heaven is planning for you once the fake energy is gone, and why your life will begin to transform in ways you could never imagine. My child, my beloved, now that the revelation is unfolding, heaven begins preparing what comes after the exposure. Do not blink while reading this. Archangel Michael says, the moment the fake love is removed, your life shifts in ways that may feel unbelievable at first. What was stuck begins to move. What was delayed begins to accelerate. What was hidden begins to appear. Do not underestimate this transition. My beloved, heaven saw all of it, and heaven decided no more. Your heart deserves peace. Your spirit deserves love. Your future deserves protection. And the universe is rearranging everything around your name to give you exactly that. My child, do not fear what is being removed from your life. Fear what heaven saves you from that you never even saw. The person pretending to love you was becoming a danger to your emotional well-being. Heaven removed them before their hidden bitterness turned into an attack against your destiny. My beloved, the next part of this message will explain something extremely important. What heaven is planning for you once the fake energy is gone, and why your life will begin to transform in ways you could never imagine. My child, my beloved, now that the revelation is unfolding, heaven begins preparing what comes after the exposure. Do not blink while reading this. Archangel Michael says, the moment the fake love is removed, your life shifts in ways that may feel unbelievable at first. What was stuck begins to move. What was delayed begins to accelerate. What was hidden begins to appear. Do not underestimate this transition. My beloved, your destiny was never behind schedule. It was being held in place by divine protection until the wrong spirit stepped aside. The blessing you have been sensing, the breakthrough you have been waiting for, the peace you have been craving, all of it begins flowing back to you now. My child, heaven withheld nothing from you. Heaven was waiting for you to be surrounded only by the souls who truly cared. Every blessing that belongs to you will now begin returning with multiplied force. My beloved, when a negative influence leaves your life, the spiritual atmosphere changes instantly. The air feels lighter. Your mind becomes clearer. Your sleep becomes deeper. Your intuition becomes stronger. This is not coincidence. This is divine alignment, my child. Archangel Michael says, the blessing coming to you next is not small. It will shake the ground around your life. Snorts. It will silence every whisper spoken against you. It will surprise even you with its size, timing, and power. And this blessing could not arrive while you were surrounded by someone who did not want you to rise. My beloved, heaven is preparing 3 major shifts for you now. First, your financial energy will open. Sometimes life moves in quiet shifts before we are fully able to understand what is changing. What once felt blocked or delayed often begins to open again in its own time, not because of pressure or force, but because circumstances slowly align in a more stable direction. You may notice that things you once struggled to access start to feel more reachable again, whether that is progress in your work, new opportunities, or simply a renewed sense of direction. It can feel like life is gently clearing space, allowing things to move forward in a more natural flow. Alongside that, emotional weight that has been sitting inside for a while often begins to ease. The mind feels less cluttered, the heart feels less burdened, and there is a gradual return of inner calm. This kind of shift doesn't happen overnight, but it builds quietly, often after you have already done the hardest part of learning and letting go. Peace returns in small moments first, then slowly becomes more consistent. You may also notice changes in your relationships. Some connections fade, while others begin to feel more supportive and grounded. Over time, you are drawn toward people who communicate more honestly, respect your boundaries, and bring a healthier sense of balance into your life. This isn't about perfection, it's about compatibility and emotional safety. And as all of this unfolds, you might reflect on how your own interests, energy, and focus have shifted. That internal change is often the earliest sign of growth. Even when it felt uncertain, something within you was already adjusting, preparing you to step into a calmer, clearer, and more aligned phase of life. My child, you are not the same person you were 6 months ago. You are not even the same person you were last month. Your spirit has grown, your intuition has sharpened, your energy has risen, and the person pretending to love you felt threatened by your evolution. My beloved, some people love the version of you that suffers. They love the version that depends on them. They love the version that doubts itself. But when you grow, when you heal, when you awaken, they feel insecure. They fear losing their hold over you. And that is exactly what happened. My child, the moment you stepped into your inner power, heaven began exposing those who could not handle your light. The fake love began cracking. The jealousy became visible. The manipulation became obvious. And heaven said, "Enough, my beloved. You must understand something very important. This betrayal wasn't your fault. It wasn't your weakness. It wasn't your mistake. It was your elevation. Your growth revealed who they truly were, and your rising energy exposed the darkness in their heart. My child, the light always reveals what the shadows try to hide. Your spiritual glow made their intentions impossible to disguise. That is why the truth surfaced now, because your soul is rising higher than their lies. My beloved Archangel Michael says, the next phase of your destiny begins when the truth sets you free, and that time is now. Your new chapter will not look like your old one. My child, this is what heaven is planning for you now. You will be protected from emotional harm. Your intuition will guide you with clarity. Your path will become smoother. Your opportunities will increase. Your peace will deepen. Your spiritual gifts will awaken, and the blessing they tried to block will find you anyway. My beloved, heaven is rewriting your story. What they tried to sabotage will rise. What they tried to stop will accelerate. What they tried to dim will shine even brighter. My child, but there is something deeper, something heaven wants you to know that is even more powerful than the blessing. Something about your identity, something about your purpose, something about why betrayal came from family, not strangers. My beloved, the reason betrayal came from family is because family has the closest access to your heart. The enemy always uses the closest door. There are moments in life when pain arrives in ways we never expected, often through people or situations we once trusted deeply. In those moments, it can feel like everything familiar has been shaken, leaving behind confusion, silence, and questions that don't have immediate answers. But even in that space of hurt, something quietly begins to shift within you. Healing does not always start with clarity. Sometimes it begins with simply surviving the weight of what has happened and still choosing to move forward, one breath at a time. Over time, what once felt like a deep wound slowly becomes a place of understanding, where you begin to see yourself with more compassion and strength than before. Life has a way of reshaping us through what we endure, not to break us, but to reveal what was always steady within us, even when everything outside felt uncertain. The connections that challenged you also reveal what you value, what you need, and how deeply you are capable of feeling. And in that process, you begin to step into a quieter, more grounded version of yourself, one that is not defined by what was lost, but by what you have learned to carry forward. Healing is not about forgetting, it is about transforming pain into wisdom and allowing time to gently restore what was once fractured into something more stable, more aware, and more aligned with who you are becoming.